Appreciate it. Hey, chicken doodle. Chicken doodle.
I said I was going to do it, and so I did it.
What'd you do?
Well, you guys can't see it. I showed it to you before the show started, but yes, I added the still no list graphic to the overlay because I am a man of my word. I put it off and put it off and put it off, but I'm like, after this week, I'm like, I've got to. She has given me no blasted choice. So, I guess I said I was going to do it, so that was the first reason I do it. The thing that kind of made me... So, for those of you who don't even know what I'm talking about, I've got the still no list Three Stooges thing on the overlay. I said I was going to do it when this whole Epstein nonsense started. And then they kept teasing the whole Ghislaine Maxwell thing to try
It's
to...
a very long tease.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten that congressional meeting or whatever. So, and Thomas Massey, good night. Thomas Massey, talk about a guy who should be president. That dude is MVP right now. He's trying to get that list available. There's some 20 names on there that he's wanting exposed. Apparently, those are kind of the big people they're trying to cover for.
Do we even have one exposure yet?
No, nothing new that hasn't been available for like 40 years or whatever. 40 years, whatever. However long it's been since this whole thing started. We've gotten basically no new information. The CEO of Victoria's Secret, we knew about him. Bill Clinton, we knew about him. Bill Gates, we know about him. We just need proof, because these people would probably go to jail if we actually had it. But
Well, they just look in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
Anyway, so what set me off and what made me finally go, okay, I need to do this, was the wonderful and ever charming Pam Bondi.
I like her.
Oh, my
lady.
gosh.
She's a nice lady.
If you're going to do something wrong, would it kill you to at least be contrite? Like a little apologetic instead of like Queen Snark? Anyway, so here's her little 2-minute bit for Congress.
Hey, before you play.
Yeah.
Everything sounds good from my end.
Great. That's fantastic because we've been like struggling to flag something awful for forever. So hopefully I finally got it fixed. So apparently it was Google Chrome. Google Chrome is like, it's like those parasites you're wanting to talk about, Cody. It just like takes over your computer. It like slows everything down and ruins it. Weird.
It's almost like it's like
communist
demonic behavior in general.
Yeah, demonic behavior. Weird. We will not be confirmed. So, all right. Here's Pam being just oh so charming.
February, you made a public claim that the Epstein client list was, quote, sitting on my desk right now for review, end of quote. You then produced already public information and no client list at a major media event hosted at the White House. Attorney General Bondi, why did you publicly claim to have the Epstein client list waiting for your review and then produce nothing relevant to that claim?
Senator Durbin, if you listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk along with the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files, and I said I had not yet reviewed it.
Which you didn't have either. It took Tulsi Gabbard to review those. You oh so charming woman.
Wait, so she didn't do her job?
She hasn't done anything. I don't know what she does except go on television and talk.
So that should have been her answer. She just didn't do
It's
her
like she's
job.
an actress or something.
I know, it's weird. It's almost like Trump chose her because she's a blonde.
And if you see our memo on Epstein, you will see, our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo.
Which is complete crap. But anyway.
Going back to the Epstein files, according to another whistleblower who made a protected disclosure to my office, you pushed the FBI to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records on an arbitrarily short deadline in March, and the FBI was directed to flag any documents that mentioned President Trump. Nothing came of that review until July when DOJ and FBI released an unsigned memo stating, quote, there's no...
I wonder who they paid $10,000 to teach her to do this with her hand. See how this, this communicates.
Yeah, it looks like she's thinking and listening intently, but she's really like, God, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just feigned confidence.
Or she's like, I'm glad I brushed my hair. It looks good.
My hair looks amazing. Oh my gosh, I look so powerful. If only I had shoulder pads in the 80s or something. I don't know.
Incriminating client list. Why was the July 7th memo unsigned?
The July 7th memo came from the FBI and the Department of Justice. Director Patel answered those questions very clear. And
then answer them, woman!
You know, Senator Durbin, I find it very interesting that you refused repeated Republican requests to release the Epstein flight logs in 2023 and 2024.
See, now we're going to point out the hypocrisy so we don't focus on the fact that she hasn't done her job. They've been covering this whole thing up. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the fact that nobody wants to sign it because nobody wants to be legally liable. No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Democrats being hypocrites because, rah Fox News.
No, you're a Republican. You're supposed to be the strong one, and I'm following your lead.
Right, yeah.
Did you take money from Reid Hoffman campaign?
He might be a Democrat, but who cares?
Who knows? They're all actors.
Yeah. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Donations? Was a huge Epstein friend. Why did you fight for years? Why did you fight to not disclose the flight logs, Senator Durbin?
I can tell you I did not refuse. One of the senators here wished to produce those logs, and I asked her to put it in writing, and she never did.
Yeah, I think Senator Blackburn would quarrel with you on that.
Why is she asking a question without answering his question?
It's called deflection.
That's how you turn the conversation around.
Yeah, I'm going to throw an accusation at you.
Oh, you're questioning me? Here's a character flaw of yours.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going on.
Is to read somebody that you mentioned I never heard of.
Reid Hoffman.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you.
Which means he got her. He freaking got her. That's like, I don't know if Trump's like, what his involvement is, but there must have been something because she just, did you see that oh crap look at, like, oh.
Yep.
Here's your sign.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to discuss that with you. How dare you? I mean,
anybody who's successfully made it through an argument can see right through that right there.
This is the most hokey, feigned outrage I've ever seen. I mean, why does Trump have this woman around him? She makes him look worse, and she doesn't answer anything right. Blonde.
Maybe she has dirt on him.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he got honeypotted or something. I don't know. There's no feasible reason for this woman to be anywhere near him.
It's the U.S. government. Everyone has dirt on everyone.
It's all a giant blackmail racket, yeah. Which is why Epstein was so vital, and they're going to fight like the Dickens to not release that list.
Yep.
It's a big club, and you all have to break the law to get in it.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, you will have to answer. Now, I am going to try to make a cumulative, kind of connected case here. I have two separate ideas that I'm trying to connect, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. This is important. This Epstein thing is important. I am going to attempt to communicate why, and I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to try to make the connection here. So we're going to move on from this darling thing. Anyway, so after that crap with Congress, I felt I've got to put the still no list thing on the overlay. So it's going up, and it's staying up until they produce that dad blame list. I don't know what else to do. This is my tiny petulant act of rebellion, I guess. So anyway, we're moving on to part 2. So to key this up, basically, there has, ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, there's been people that were like, I can't believe this is happening. And then we've got the whole redoubling efforts for peace or whatever. And I'm not saying, we should have a civil war or whatever, but they don't mean peace. They mean apathy. They mean sit on your butt and do nothing, But they say peace,
Who's the they saying peace?
Oh, Beck and some of these other conservative commentator guys. It's like, we got to turn down the temperature. I don't know if you've heard that crap.
Yeah. I actually have
stuff.
a video that for you to watch on that one that we might play.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. So, anyway, to make, that'd be fine if you want to send the link. I'll play it. It's whatever you want to do. But anyway.
It's the one we talked about before the show.
Okay.
With Destiny.
Gotcha. Okay, well, anyway, so we'll play the Destiny one here in a minute. I just want to contrast these appeals to peace. Hey, look, it's a cat.
Here, kitty. Meow.
Is this cat?
Speaking of parasites.
Did you get infected? Is that why? Is that why we're talking about it again?
No, I take ivermectin.
You took
couple times a year.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. Is there a parasite for random rage at news clippings? So.
Yes.
Oh, probably. I'll get on that ivermectin then. So. Anyway, no. So to make Beck's case for peace or whatever, he decided to paint a nasty, horrific picture of like what a civil war is going to be like, to make his point or whatnot. So. And we're not going to play the whole thing, but I just want to give the tenor of what he had to say and then give my counter, I guess. So here we go.
People are throwing around things like national divorce. People are saying, let it all burn. We need a great reset.
First of all, I resent the equivocation. There are people that are frustrated who are like, okay, let it all burn. And then he's like, they're no different than the liberals who say we need a great reset. That's what that was. That was a subtle shot at basically anybody who disagrees with him is akin to these psychopaths trying to rule the world or whatever. They're all just bad. They're bad because they want violence, and violence bad. Bad violence, bad, Kind of trying to establish a binary. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a great insert would be from The Dark Knight when the Joker burns the money, and he says that.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything burns.
He takes away the teams. There's nothing to fight for anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's trying to equivocate all the people that want to burn it down with the Great Reset people, and basically people are saying that because they're frustrated. They're not on the side of the billionaires, but he's trying to do this binary thing, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway,
he's building two frames and saying you guys need to be a part of one of these.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you've got to watch with these conservative types, with these commentators. It's all about Jones, who does the same thing sometimes. At least I think he does. It's the Galilean dialectic. He uses that term a lot, the Galilean dialectic, and it's all about.
Isn't it Hegelian?
Maybe it's Hegelian, yeah. I might be.
What exactly is that?
Well, it's basically you set up two binary choices that are essentially false and have everybody take a camp that's erroneous they're both wrong and they have nothing to do with what's actually happening. But it's a way to just
like Democrat,
distract.
Republican.
Yeah. False binary, false dichotomy. There's a million different ways to say it. But you have to frame things in such a way that for an us versus them type deal.
I got you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As if we're talking about a new season of television. But we are not. Let me be very, very clear of what we are talking about. That must never be considered. I want to hit this early before this becomes a trend because the algorithm.
Okay, can I just be snarky here? The reason there was a cut there is because they had a break. They had a break. It's a commercial break. And I'm sorry, he sits there and talks about this is so horrible. It can never happen. This is the worst thing in the world. Sponsor this half hour. It just, like, the insincerity of it just drives me insane. It's like just this theatrics and this fake passion. And it's just like, oh, well, I guess we're talking about an ad. The only time it was ever actually funny, you guys are probably not, you probably don't remember this, but when Crowder and Ben Shapiro had their falling out, Ben Shapiro was so mad and he was doing his little rant.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the rant, he's like, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter or whatever it was. He wanted to keep yelling, but he had to stop for the ad. And I'm like, that is just so indicative of why this freaking culture sucks. It's like you can't even complete a thought when you're being sincere because some corporate turd has paid you, 2 minutes or whatever, and you've got to stop to take those 2 minutes. It's just that I just thought it was a great metaphor for where we're at.
Yeah.
And I'm going some. This is all connected. I know it sounds disjointed, but there's a through line here, and I want to get to it. But anyway,
We'll get through it.
Moving on.
Will reward talk like this. National divorce, civil war,
Judging the size of our channel, I highly doubt that's actually going on. But anyway.
et cetera, et cetera. We are not talking about a season of television that you watch from your home when you're talking about things like this. We are talking about your life, your ordinary, miraculous, taken for granted life ending. Everything you grew up knowing, believing in, having the opportunity to have, be, do, over. It won't change. It ends. That's what civil war means. The world your children expect to grow up in. The one with school plays and Little League and birthday parties in the backyard. Gone. And it doesn't come back with an election or a speech or a victory parade. It doesn't come back at all. This is very fragile. This has never been done. A government of, for, and by the people has never been done before. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but the entire world system seems to be against people that want to rule themselves. So it doesn't come back. Civil war is not, Gettysburg reenactors with quotes on social media. It's neighbors. It's cul-de-sacs. It's the grocery store and the gas station and the pharmacy. It's the lights you never think about until they don't turn on. The water you never worry about until it comes out brown, if it comes out at all. I need you, before things get crazier than they are, I want you to be firm on what you believe. I want you to picture, not for shock, but for absolute clarity. Your day begins and your bank app says service unavailable. Your ATM says out of cash. The trucks have stopped coming to the grocery stores because the highways have checkpoints and ambushes and rumors of both. The gas station is a rumor, too. One station has a line that's 3 blocks long. The other has a hand-lettered sign that says cash only, limit 5 gallons. And you think, well, I got some cash, until you realize everybody else had that same idea yesterday. You must have a prescription for somebody in your family. Insulin, heart meds, chemo, whatever it is. The pharmacy's closed. Why? Because the pharmacist couldn't make it through the roadblocks. And the chain's distribution centers can't risk sending a truck without a police escort. And the police don't escort trucks anymore because the police that do show up for work now are triaging their own neighborhoods. You call 911 about a domestic disturbance down the street and the dispatcher says, if anybody even answers, we'll put you on the list. These aren't front lines in a modern civil war. They are the intersections. They are our neighborhoods. They are the algorithms. The algorithm that sells rage by the pound. and it's being fed to both sides until both sides are blood.
Sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, I said, and what are you doing, Glenn?
Exactly.
He's talking about.
He's being peaceful. He's talking about loving your neighbor because that's going to fix it.
He's building an imaginary what if for everybody to get involved with, and then he's like, "This is going to happen to you. You're going to be out of groceries if you don't pick a side."
He's saying if we get violent, all this horrible stuff is
find it
going
disgusting.
to happen. Yeah, it is disgusting. It's like spoiler alert. War sucks. Take whatever horrible scenario you've imagined, times it by 10. That's what it's going to be like, and it's probably still going to be worse. And we're all going to be completely unprepared because we've never done it before. Yeah, okay. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't fight. Yes, it sucks, but sometimes you have to go through things that suck. I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyway, and I am not saying we should have a civil war, but there is something that he ignores or doesn't understand, and it's, I guess we'll just cut ahead to it because we don't need to watch the whole thing. If you want to, you can. It's the truth about national divorce because he's going to tell you the truth about it. All right, so let me get to my point. So the whole pretext is war is bad, therefore we should be peaceful. And that's the gist of it. He's going to sit there and say, national divorce is unthinkable. Well, look. Okay, let me put it like this. Peace and war are not decided by us. Peace is facilitated by the providence of God. Man pulls the trigger. God controls where the bullet goes. God is the one that decides whether or not you turn your head. Peace is not up to you. And what pisses me off about these people is they take a divine blessing from God and use it as a way to just gratify their own egos by calling themselves peaceful. Peace is not a virtue. It's not a virtue. It is a blessing. You are either in peace and prosperity or you are under wrath, and God is the one that decides those things. You don't get to decide them. Like the whole reason Gandhi and Martin Luther King, which are two people that he references all the time, the only reason that those guys were able to do what they did is because they lived in a Christian culture that valued martyrdom. Everybody else, when they saw the people getting chewed by dogs, when they saw the people getting attacked in the South, it only mattered to them because they were Christian. Watching those people suffer only mattered to them because they were Christian and had a Christian ethos. We are not fighting other Christians. We are fighting communists, and they only believe in the strong and the weak. And they will not see a martyr if you get chewed up by a dog. They're going to see a weak person who died and should have died because that's Darwin. And so you're not going to win any fights or earn any points by being a martyr. You're just going to die. Because they don't believe what you believe on any fundamental level. So martyrdom is going to accomplish nothing. Being peaceful is going to accomplish nothing. And frankly, what he means by being peaceful is just let the bad guys be bad. We don't want a civil war because that's unthinkable. That's the most horrible thing that could happen. And so we just have to let the bad guys be bad. We have to allow evil and not do anything about it, apparently, and shrug and go, oh, well, because the alternative is so freaking horrible. Which brings me back to this stupid list, because there are people talking like this concept is strange or weird, but it's not. What I'm talking about has been understood by every country in the world before the freaking boomers got in charge and just wrecked everything. So, like, for example, when Abraham Lincoln gave his second inaugural address, one of the famous lines that he gave was, if every drop of blood spilled by the whip of the lash must be met with the slash of a sword, we must say what was said back then, 2,000 years ago, the decrees of the Lord are good and just altogether, meaning that it is God who decides the fates of nations. So when you have peace, it's not because of your own stupid peacefulness. It's because God is providentially protecting things. Sorry, hang on. My wife is calling me. I don't know why. I'm in the middle of the podcast. What's up?
There's a light outside in our greenhouse.
In our greenhouse?
Can you go
Get
check
your
that?
gun, boy.
Yeah,
Get out
I need
there.
to check that. All right, I'll be back. Hopefully I can be peaceful. All right, hang on a minute.
So what do you think about it, Cody? You think we should... I don't think Gary's trying to say that we should, take up arms and do that type of thing, but just try and figure out.
No, but we need to enforce the law. I mean, that's
enforce the law. Yeah.
What's happened is like we've stopped enforcing the law because the government has an agenda that they want fulfilled. So it's like we're not actually enforcing the laws that were designed to keep this thing from happening. So we really just need to go back to where we were.
Back to the Declaration and enforce the Declaration.
Yep. Because, I mean, I don't know how much this means, but like the laws of the U.S. are like they correlate with things that the Bible says.
Yeah.
So I do believe the laws of the nation are good for the nation. So like Glenn Beck is doing this, like you're either an anarchist or the other thing.
A slight terrorist.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like the correct path is just to be in the middle path, bro.
Which sometimes there is no middle ground. You have to choose. And that goes along with one of my used to be my favorite verses. I forgot where it is. It's in Proverbs. I think it's 31:3. But it says, I'm paraphrasing. It says to do what is right and just is more acceptable than sacrifice. And that's a hard line to draw, because it's like, well, what is sacrifice, and then what is doing the right thing? Because sometimes you have to sacrifice something to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's an argument you could have for hours and hours and hours, kind of like what Glenn Beck is doing, and never accomplish anything.
The key is like self-sacrifice, I think. I mean, if you have to sacrifice others for the good of the people, that's wrong. But if it's like a self-sacrificial thing, then everybody's kind of equally yoked at that point. Yeah. If everybody's sacrificing.
And that's kind of back to the Charlie Kirk thing. He is a martyr. He did the right thing. He sacrificed himself to do what was right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you get like I don't know, I think especially in media and government, you get like, have you ever heard of Carl Jung?
Yeah.
So you got like the shadow work thing.
Yeah, shadow work.
So
I've been doing shadow work on myself here lately.
Nice. So I think like the shadow also represents the ego.
Yeah.
And so any entity that exists has both an ego and a self. So like the government is the shadow self of the country.
Yeah.
And like egos, they grow disproportionately, and there has to be a sacrifice to get rid of that ego, but the ego becomes a monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you see it in movie stars and stuff. Like Michael Jackson, there's all the conspiracies about how he faked his death or, whatever. It's like either one of those could be the case, because he's just so huge and his ego grew bigger than he was. And so for him to get out of that, he had to kill his ego. And just like we go through on a personal level, when you're in the public eye like that and your ego gets that big, there has to be some kind of huge thing to kill it. Yep. It has to be public. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're going through. It's like the government's got such a huge ego that it's like it's out of fucking control.
Yeah.
And like there's gonna have to be something massive to kill that ego.
The problem is you having possum pie for dinner?
Ugh.
We get those parasites Cody's always talking about.
Yikes, man.
Yeah.
Possums don't have parasites.
All right.
Everything has parasites, Trevor.
Right. So what I'm talking about is like in the East, it might have been called something like the Tao of Heaven. In Christian, circles, it's like the Almighty. God controls the fate of nations. God has power and oversees the powers and principalities of the world. We're not just fighting flesh and blood and all that. So this isn't a weird concept. The fate of nations is determined by God, not our own stupid ability to be peaceful.
So would you say that we could fight back by prayer and actual faith?
Well, the way that you maintain peace, from what I believe, is I think you have to do two things. Number one, you have to administer justice, and you have to remember your posterity. Like to maintain peace, you have to do the right thing as a nation. Otherwise, the wrath of the Almighty overtakes that nation. This is an old-fashioned concept. Again, the boomers who think they're smarter than everybody else decided that wasn't, materialistic enough or whatever. But, but that's the way it's always been understood, is God determines whether or not nations rise and fall, and he decides that by two things: the fair administration of justice and remembering your posterity, which is why sacrificing the kids to Moloch, I believe, applies more than just the actual situation that was going on in the Old Testament. It's the idea that you're willing to sacrifice your children for your own benefit, which is why this stuff that Beck was saying ticks me off so much, because what he's really doing is he's like, maybe if I just bide my time, I'll be dead and my kids will get to fight the Civil War and I won't have to go through it. That's kind of the vibe I get. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being too harsh on it, but that's honestly the vibe I get, because the problem isn't going to go anywhere. And I'm sorry, these guys always appeal to the Christian martyrs and stuff. The Christian martyrs, yeah, they're going to have the highest honor in the kingdom of God, but they didn't ask to be martyrs, and they didn't go to the Colosseum going, oh boy, I get to have the best crown because I'm going to be a martyr. They didn't ask for that, and they didn't want it. Who wants to be burned alive on a cross? Okay?
Let your left hand know not what your right hand does.
You try to deal with those kinds of things with dignity if you're put in that situation, but you don't intentionally, surrender yourself to it because it's some kind of a virtue. No, God will give you the strength to deal with whatever man does to you at the 11th hour. But you don't just sit by and let the bad guys do whatever you want. So I gave this analogy to Trevor, and this goes partially to this, and I think it's, let me just give the analogy. So the Bible says if a Roman soldier makes you carry a pack for a mile, then you should take it too, right? So let me ask a question. If the king of a country decides he wants to sleep with your wife for one night, should you let him sleep with your wife for two?
No.
No, because you're sacrificing somebody else's peace. You can sacrifice your own peace,
right?
But not someone else's.
What have I said?
You have to defend him.
I've said this in the past. If you turn the other cheek when you're struck, you're a Christian. You turn the other cheek when your neighbor's struck, you're a coward.
Yeah.
It has to be balanced. Turn the other cheek has to be balanced with do unto others. You have an obligation to your fellow man to try to do the right thing and to protect them. And if protecting your neighbor requires violence, then so be it. But you don't let bad guys burn down your neighbor's house in the name of peace. And what I'm talking about with the king thing specifically, of course, I looked it up on Google, and the AI was saying that never actually happened. It's just a rumor. Of course, I don't really trust the AI, but whatever. The point is, though, there are certain streams of authority. Yeah, it is artificial. And somebody had to program it. But anyway, there are certain spheres of influence, spheres of authority that different groups have. Give unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Give unto God the things that are God's. So just because a government is in charge, that doesn't mean they get to do whatever they want, and you have to be a martyr. You don't give your wife to the king so you can be a martyr.
Yeah.
And there's a degree of apathy to what he's saying that just irritates the thunder out of me, because that's really what that would mean. Because the truth is, these people are not going to let you be peaceful. Like, should I be mad in a strict, like, materialist sense that Charlie Kirk was shot? No, it doesn't affect my world. But I'm mad because he was a fellow human being. And I should be mad for somebody else and the pain that somebody else is going through. And if I have to fight to protect somebody else, that is good and right, because I'm helping my neighbor. Anyway, so
but what do you think about like if you can't do anything about it within the next hour, like what's the point in being mad about it?
I think, and this is just my opinion, I just think people deserve to, like, we need to mourn and commiserate for people and with people. Yeah, we can't do anything about it, but people deserve to be remembered. Like, I was very upset when Kirk died, and I felt like it was appropriate to be upset because I felt like somebody should be upset over what happened. Like, does it affect my world? No. But a human life matters. Like, people matter. And, people should be upset when horrible things happen. Like, we should be able to empathize with each other. And we should be able to feel each other's pain and, like, rend our garments, as it were, on behalf of somebody else. Like, because they deserve it. Because they're fellow human beings. And I just feel like this is just, he's not talking about peace. He's talking about apathy in the face of evil because he doesn't want to go to war. And so, in light of that sentiment, which, okay, let me tie this into everything first. That's why I'm trying to make the connection between the Epstein list and this, because you want peace. First of all, God is the one who provides it, not you. And how do you gain the Almighty's favor? You do the right thing. Do you really think that God is going to spare this country if we're willing to let something like the Epstein list, where they were literally, according to the conspiracy theories, assaulting children in pagan temples, if we let that go in the name of, like, using the ring of, like, blackmailing the bad guys or whatever with it, or whatever the Trump administration thinks it's doing, if we let that go and we don't say anything, if we forget our posterity, if we, metaphorically speaking, sacrifice our kids to Moloch, I mean, it was literally done in pagan temples, guys. If we let that slide, and God is the one who controls the bullets, do you really think he's going to spare this country? I don't think so. I think blood cries out from the ground. And I think God, being perfectly just, demands payments for that blood. And I think there have been a lot of crimes in this country perpetrated by the government that have yet to be answered for, because God is trying to give us, the people, a chance to demand justice ourselves.
It's like the Lot story.
I'm sorry?
Show me one good, or like the Lot story, show me 10 good men, show me 5 good men.
I am so glad you brought that up, Cody. Let me ask you a question. What makes you think, like, what do you think drove Lot to the point that he literally offered his daughters to be gang raped to protect angels? He thought that was a good thing. Like,
was that before or after?
This was before the angels. I'm sorry, go on.
No. Was that before or after his daughters gang raped him?
Before.
Okay.
One ill-fated decision leads to another. I see what you're going there. But, yeah, he got his just desserts, in a manner of speaking. They got even with him. But, anyway, the point is, why did he do that? Like, what drove him to that point? How does a man like Lot, who knew God, who was, by all accounts, the only righteous man in the city, how does a quote-unquote righteous man get to the place where he's willing to sacrifice his daughters to the crowd and think he's honoring the angels by doing it?
Parasite infestation.
No. It's because somebody told him to be peaceful. That's how. Go along to get along.
Yeah.
It's this warped ethic of allowing evil. Which, what does Ezekiel 16 say about Sodom and Gomorrah?
People
what
pleasing.
Was the sin of Sodom
it's
and
like
Gomorrah?
people pleasing instead of God pleasing.
Yes, it's going along to get along. It's not saying things are evil. And what is Ezekiel 16? What does it say about Sodom and Gomorrah? What was the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah? Hint: it wasn't sodomy of all things. Actually,
sacrifice.
I actually don't know.
It was being overfed and unconcerned, which led to everything else, which led to the sodomy.
Yeah.
And being overfed and unconcerned is what creates a situation where good men think it is the right thing to do to sacrifice their daughters. And so you sit here and you abandon the kids that were attacked in the name of, like, keeping up some blackmail racket, or because the freaking Trump administration's scared it's going to look bad. And so it tells all these clowns to be quiet. It's like, Beck, you want peace? Tell Trump to release those files.
Yep.
Join Thomas
Catharsis.
Madison, not Trump. Do the right thing and remember your posterity. That's how you keep peace. Not this bullcrap about going along and getting along. You do the right thing, you administer justice, and you remember your posterity. You don't sacrifice the kids in the name of keeping up some blackmail racket that's being perpetrated by the Fed.
Well said.
No connection, though. No connection. All right. So, I'm going to read a story from the Bible that clashes with these Puritan sentiments. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible, actually. It's the story of Ehud, or the good left arm. I liked this story when I was a kid because I, too, am left-handed. So, I empathized with the man. So, anyway, so let me just read this chapter, or this section really quick. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. This is what I'm talking about. This is the crazy concept that the boomers have forgotten, that literally every other nation in the world before the boomers understood. God strengthens and weakens nations. The wrath of God comes through other nations when you're talking about the national scale. When God's wrath fell on Israel, it was through Nebuchadnezzar, or in this case, the king of Moab. God is the one who decides these things. God is the one that causes nations to rise and fall. It is his providence. It is his dominion to decide those things. And so when the people do something bad, like Jonathan Edwards talks about this in his sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, in which case, if you behave in a bad way, God, who is holding the believer in his hands, will remove his hands and let the wrath of the world wash over the believer. Because wrath, horrible things, like peace is not the default. Prosperity is not the default. Chaos, wrath, evil is the default because the world is fallen. God protects people from that. But when people start acting like jackwagons because they think the peace is of their own making through their stupid passive temperament, and they forget things like demanding justice, then God eventually removes his hands and lets the wrath of the world wash over those people. You have to do the right thing even when it sucks, and it, on the surface, doesn't have anything to do with avoiding a war. Anyway, moving on. So he gathered unto the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of the palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon the king of Moab for 18 years. But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer. And pay attention to how the deliverer delivered the people of Israel. Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab. But Ehud made him a dagger, which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh. And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were with Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king, who said, Keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God unto thee. And he arose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. And the haft of it also went in after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out, meaning he crapped himself. Then Ehud went forth through the porch, and shut the door of the parlor upon him, and locked him. And he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, Surely he covereth his feet within his summer chamber, which is nomenclature for going to the bathroom, because he smelled like crap, because he crapped himself. So when he was gone out, his servants came out, and they tarried till they were ashamed, and behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took the key and opened them, and behold, their Lord was fallen down dead on the earth. So God told Ehud to assassinate a man.
Because he was fat.
No. Because he was evil, and God was sparing the people. Does that sound like a Quaker sentiment? Does that sound like being a martyr? The same God who said, turn the other cheek, is the same God who ordered this man to assassinate the king of the Moabites.
There you go.
Maybe, maybe we shouldn't be apathetic in the face of evil. Maybe Ecclesiastes is right, and there's a time for everything under the sun. And the question is whether or not it's time, not whether or not we should do it at all. Because, again, peace is not a virtue. It is facilitated by the providence of God and nothing else. And until we deal with things like this stupid Epstein list, there isn't going to be peace, and this country is on a path to war, period. Whether we like it or not, whether we go burn down a Walgreens or not, it's going to happen because you're not taking care of the right thing at your door.
Yeah.
That's what wrath is, and we're under wrath. That's my speech. Thoughts?
Well said.
At what point is it at your door, though?
The right thing?
Yeah. At what point do you take action? When is it like? What are you saying as when it comes to your door? In this scenario.
Hold on. My Fun Time says war must be a last resort. They're the ones that are going to decide when we go to war. Like, we're not going to be the ones that determine that time. That's my point. They're not going to let us be peaceful because this is wrath and this is out of our hands. Being peaceful is not going to fix it. There isn't going to be a season where we turn down the temperature. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to come to you because we're under wrath. If you want to stop it, maybe you should take advantage of the fact that we have control of the government right now, and we should administer justice and remember our posterity, both of which can be done by releasing that stupid list and stop playing footsie with the freaking government.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Somebody's
amazing.
got to tell the truth.
Yeah. It's like, do you not understand? If this doesn't happen, we will go to war. Like, what was the point of getting Trump in if we weren't going to administer justice and remember our kids? What was the point? I don't give a crap about whether the economy is good. None of that's going to matter if we don't take care of, administering justice and remembering our posterity. Now, as far as answering your question, how do you know when something's at your door? Well, I think dealing with it this little way is one way that you take care of it at your door. We're here talking about it. I think that's one thing you can do. I think if you see your neighbor in trouble, helping him is another thing that you can do. Like, God presents opportunities to do the right thing. And if we do the right thing on the individual level, we're fine. I'm talking collectively, administratively, and the general attitude and the sentiment of the, I guess you would say, the conservative party or the MAGA movement or whatever. But these appeals to peace are just poison pills to actually basically sit on our hands until the Democrats get in charge again. In which case, we're all getting deported to Siberia because apparently citizenship isn't determined by birth anymore. Or that's what they'll say, at least. So, but yeah, as far as what's at your door, I mean, if you see a problem, deal with it. Do the right thing. And if somebody's beating somebody else up, don't go help the person. Defend the person getting beat up. Don't stand on the street and go, well, I've got to be peaceful and there isn't a teacher around. You don't tell the teacher when there's a school fight and some kid's getting beat up. You deal with it yourself. That's part of the reason that's part of the reason this culture's went to shit, is because we've taught our kids to go tell the teacher instead of kicking the bully's ass ourselves.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's how they want the rules set up.
I'm sorry?
That's how they want the rules set up. I mean, within schools, you're not supposed to touch each other. I mean, I've seen kids at birthday parties punch each other in the face and then become best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of how guys bond.
And they're right. And they're taking that away.
Yeah.
On a fundamental level.
Well, see, what pisses me off is we used to understand this. Perfect example. When I was a kid, Dad had the dairy farm, and it was company policy to not sell our milk ever. And we could have lost the whole farm if we sold milk. But we did sell milk. Or I say sell. We basically took whatever the old people were willing to give us, if they gave us anything at all. But because certain old people couldn't handle the milk because they pasteurize it, right? And so people couldn't even have their cereal without getting sick. And so if some old person came to us because they couldn't handle the freaking pasteurized milk, we would sell them milk. And to fucking hell with what the damn DFA said.
Yeah.
We used to understand that. We used to understand that that's my point with the king and the wife thing. There are circles of authority. You have an obligation to help your community. You have an obligation to help your fellow man on the individual level. Fuck contracts and fuck company policy. We did the right thing because they were our neighbor. Mm-hmm. That's the attitude that's got to come back that'll save this country. Not this bullshit about 100%. Waiting for the cops. Or waiting for the teacher or whoever.
That may or may not show up.
That may or may not show up, exactly. This shit that Soros
govern yourself
has done,
or you will be governed.
Yeah. The shit that Soros has done wouldn't matter if people were willing to defend themselves. But because we've taught everybody to basically let the proper authorities and let the experts handle crap, when some jackass billionaire buys off all the DNA or DAs, we're fucked because nobody will deal with anything themselves. It's why aren't the proper channels working? Well, why aren't you fixing it yourself? Why do you need the proper channels? Maybe you're the proper channel.
Yeah.
You do the right thing on the individual level. You don't trust institutions to fix crap for you. All right.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm sorry, that video just made me so mad because it sounds like war will be terrible. Why can't we have peace? Why this kumbaya crap is so insincere. And I think he believes it, but the message is just straight from hell. It's no different than the damn Quakers and at the Revolutionary War. Patrick Henry, how many atrocities will you endure before you admit you are at war already?
Yeah.
How many people are dead and we don't talk about them in the name of peace? Anyway. Somebody else
yes, sir.
Because
it's like yeah. I don't know, what you just said reminded me like Voldemort. Don't mention his name, and the more you don't mention him, the more powerful he becomes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fear of a name.
I've also used this analogy. I don't know how applicable it is, but this is another way I think about it. Like growing up on the farm, good night. I've been almost trampled by bulls several times. You know, they paw and snort and carry on. And the way that you keep a bull from doing that is you communicate that you're actually willing to fight it. Like you don't charge it or start towards it because that'll trigger it to charge you. But you don't run away either because it'll do the same thing. You stand there, you look at it like it's retarded, and you basically, with your body, communicate the idea, I'll fight you if I need to. Because the fact that you're willing to fight is what makes it pause. And it's like, Glenn Beck, if you want to stop a war, you first have to be willing to fight one. Because the bad guys don't give a shit about your martyrdom.
Stand up with your shoulders back and your chest out.
Exactly. And that's what stops the fight. That's what keeps the peace. Not this Gandhi bullshit.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you would have called the cops for that knocked over light in your greenhouse?
Oh my gosh. I'd have had to have filed it.
What a mess.
I never would have got back.
When I first
all
heard
we
her
have
say,
to fear is fear itself.
Yeah.
When I first heard her say the light's back, or the light was somewhere, I thought she was talking about the one in the sky.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I was like, oh, he's going to get to do a live.
Yeah, no. I can't. Those things are too fast. And apparently nobody cares anyway, so my footage is not that impressive. So,
yeah.
Oh, well, what are you going to do, right?
You need your P900.
I guess
or
I wish.
P1000. You can't buy P900s anymore. You can't buy P900s anymore. You got to get a P1000, I think.
Yeah, I need a zoom. I need to be able to get really up close to it, figure out what it is. But it doesn't matter. Any final thoughts before we move on? Because I've yelled for almost an hour.
Not really. I don't really follow this stuff, but I get behind what you're saying.
Thank you. Mr. Trevor?
No, not really.
All right. Well,
Your
then
fundamental philosophy checks out in my book, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Well, we're going to move on to section 2. So, guys, if you are watching this, thank you so much for watching. Stay with us. We're moving on to section 2. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, or tell us we're stupid. We don't care. We just want attention. And until next time, we'll see ya.
Thank you.
All right, guys, moving on to section 2. So do we want to talk about Parasites first, or do we want to react to our first video since we've been at this for a year?
I want to do the Parasites.
You want to do the Parasites? All right, a parasiting.
Sounds good to me.
A parasiting, we will go.
Right.
New verb.
So who wants to lead us in? Somebody lead us in first.
I will.
All right, go for it.
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. Today we're talking about parasites and their behavior through all species of, infection. I didn't say that right, but see, I F the podcast up.
That's
what the hell?
Inflection.
Inflection.
Oh, that's funny. Well, sounds good. So we're ready to watch the video?
Looks like
let's
AI.
just do it.
Let's just do it. Okay, well, I wanted to transfer over really quick because I want to complicate, what is this, Ward Radio? That is a beautiful thumbnail, sir. If you ever see this, Ward Radio, kudos to that thumbnail. That is nice.
That is cool.
All right, so we'll go on here. Let's start this up.
Parasites are literally demons. Literally.
You look at these old records about demons being able to like influence your thoughts and get you.
Speaking of something else that's beautiful, look at that beard. Holy crap. That is a wonderful beard. How much conditioner? Goodness. Anyway, sorry.
Do things that you wouldn't normally be doing. It's because these parasites are influencing you.
Wait. So in the Essene Gospel of Peace, they literally reprimand Jesus for fasting because fasting isn't paying some kind of tribute to Satan, which makes him sound a lot like a parasitic tapeworm that demands tribute of the food that you eat.
Yes.
Part two. Thanks for watching the last one. If you thought it was crazy, wait till you see this one. So, one of the reasons why, and this also...
What?
Your volume's pretty high.
Oh.
Yeah, the video's pretty high.
All right, let's turn that down. All right.
So might just go into parasites or demons anyway. So maybe we can just like, you know.
Cool. Yeah.
So one of the reasons why this is not widely held information is because traditional Christianity has sucked all of the truth and mysticism and esotericism out of these doctrines that once taught us this. So the ancients,
out of the scriptures,
right?
So like the removal of certain books from the Bible, when they like got rid of things like the Book of Enoch, even though it's quoted like crazy in
Jesus
the Old
quotes
and
Book
New
of Enoch more
Testament.
than anything.
Didn't Wes Huff do a rebuttal on that point, like it was written around the time of the Maccabees? That particular book that they were citing.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get lost on sidetracks all day, but the meat of what they're saying is pretty good shit.
Okay, all right.
The meat.
Else, yeah.
Yeah, so like,
I don't know what the Gospel of the Essenes are either.
Yeah, there's so many apocryphal books. I didn't study them because they don't count.
Mostly from just removal of scripture, or
removal of scripture, and also interpreting things in the wrong way and repeating the false interpretation throughout thousands of years about those 1400 years, and then people can't. It's a psychological operation. It's a psyop. It's a manipulative tactic, right? I mean, when you really take a step back and think about it, you go, why? I am not going to believe the Bible narrative as told by the same churches that almost destroyed the world. Like, I'm not going to do that, okay?
Or that burned all the codices of the Mayan.
Really, we're going to go with the churches destroyed the world thing? It's called government.
The Catholic Church? I mean,
it's called,
the Catholic Church
when you make your church a government.
did its best to destroy the world.
They were trying to
Which is
destroy
why we
the
have the
world.
separation of church and state.
No, that's nonsense. Look, the Catholic Church became the government. That's the problem. It's the merging of power and the corrupting influence of power. It's not something to do with the fact that they're churches.
What they're saying is that church built our modern day perception of all this, and like the Catholic Church did damage to the world. I mean, you have to admit that.
Which is why we had the Protestant Reformation. Like, I don't know how much damage they did or didn't do, but I think over time. I mean, like they canonized. They basically canonized what we have as the Bible, right? Yes and no. I mean, like, before the Catholic Church was really the Catholic Church that we know. Yes. But I mean, the Greek Orthodox would say that they're the ones that canonized the Bible. You know what I mean? It's like, that's part of the issue, is these guys, these old churches basically are like distortions of what actually existed back then, but they both claim to be the guys that canonized the Bible. But they're not the same people, and they didn't have the same doctrine. They don't have the same doctrines that were around back then. Like, it's not the same church. Like, you can't, I don't really think you can make the equivocation, because a lot of stuff's changed in 2,000 years. Yeah. I don't know. I think that, yes, the Catholic Church got corrupted over time, but they say they've got corrupted over time, which is one of the really frustrating things about them, because they can't seem to get their inerrancy stuff right. That's one issue, because, like, last week, we did a video on the Pope praying to a block of ice. Oh, yeah. And I was like, guys, is the Pope inerrant or not? Because this is a problem. You know? But, I mean, you talk to Catholics, I mean, they're not going to tell you the same thing. That's kind of the issue. It's like some of them would say he's inerrant. Others are like, well, we say that, but not really. You know? Yeah. So it's just... Do you think you can bless water? Kind of like how you bless a meal? Let me put it to you like this. If such a thing is possible, it's the faith that's doing it. It's not like there's anything special about the water. I'd agree with that. Yeah. Like, it's... It's God honoring faith.
To the Lord.
Yeah, it's God honoring people's faith. There's nothing within the thing, be it a crucifix, being water, being whatever. Like there's nothing about the object that's special. It's the faith, and God is honoring the faith. But,
technically, you could bless anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, technically.
But ultimately it's up to God to actually do
the
blessing.
Right, and where we would part ways with them is there are certain people that I guess have some kind of authority to bless things or whatever, and we don't agree with that. We're like, no, just because you're a priest does not mean you have some sort of special authority. Christ gave authority to the believer, to the body of believers as a whole. Like it's like there's nothing special about being a priest.
So if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can move that mountain.
Right.
You can bless whatever you want.
And notice that Christ did not add any qualifiers there. He's like, unless you're not a priest. Like, if you go to divinity school and have faith of a mustard seed, you can move that mountain. You know. Or whatever. So.
You see that mountain over there? I bet I could throw a football over that mountain.
There you go. There you go. So, it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, there's been a lot of distortions, but... Catholics are a little loosey-goosey with the term universal. You know? It's like, hey, we got the name, so that means we're the same church. And I'm like, it's not really. No, because you don't. Kind of changed a few things over the years, guys. So, anyway.
I guess
I'd have the same complaints. I'd have the same complaints with the Greek Orthodox, but anyway, we've already kind of kicked
So the churches have corrupted things.
They've corrupted some things.
I think that's the only point he was trying to make.
Yeah, I know. I'm just nitpicking, because transformative. I gotta obey the censorship stuff. So we gotta fight over pedantic crap for a little bit.
Pedantic,
manipulated our history and lied to us over and over again. I don't give a dang which pope said this. Okay, whatever those little child pictures from the Renaissance were doing is not something I'm not gonna let. That's what.
Gotta edit.
But these guys are clearly Mormon, Latter-day Saints, Christianity. Like, you can see that at the bottom of their description or whatever. I'm like, guys, your prophet's the same thing as a pope. I have bad news for you. It's the same. It's the same thing, guys. I don't know what. It's like, oh, for those idiots for listening to the guy in the hat, we got the guy in the suit and tie over here. That's clearly the right answer.
John
morons.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, Pope Joseph Smith.
Okay. I kind of think like attributing spiritual authority to an administrative body is the issue, but okay, we can blame the Pope.
That's what they're doing. These are evil people, right? So when you start looking into it, you start going, well, how often do evil spirits play a role in Scripture? Quite a bit. And what is one doctrine traditional Christianity decided to get rid of to absolutely tank and ruin? The doctrine of the importance of the physical body, right? Because by removing the fact that God the Father has a body and is a man, we've devalued the importance.
That's Gnosticism. Gnosticism is one of the worst heresies, that ever infected Christianity.
I think he's just trying to build a point here, and I don't really agree with him, but
yeah, I know, but it's just all kinds of ironic. I'm just marinating in the irony here. It's like, guys, come on, you're literally going into Gnosticism. Nobody liked the Gnostics.
To the physical body.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's one of the huge things about Joseph Smith revelations was the actual materialism of God.
Along with viewing our bodies as a temple in a much more real way because of the eternal nature of it and how we're going to be resurrected.
if God doesn't actually have a body, then what is the importance of saying that your body is a temple and should be treated as sacred? Mm-hmm. Because all things...
Because God made it! It's housing a soul. That's why it's sacred. Good night. Okay, all right. I'm getting frustrated with these guys. No, so they're going to make a big... I was going to, not get into it. They're basically saying, God, was a human or something at one point. That's, their doctrine or whatever. But it's like, well, Christ...
Yeah, I've always disagreed with that statement.
Yeah, I know. I know. We've talked. So, Okay, all right, we're moving on.
Divine should be treated as sacred, and if God doesn't have a body, then bodies are not divine. But now all of a sudden, if you say
that is an absolutely ludicrous statement.
What do you say? I missed
If
it.
God doesn't have a body, then bodies in totality are not sacred. Okay, first of all, God is the one who decides what's sacred, and if he says your body is sacred, which he does in the Bible, then it's sacred. Because the whole thing about being sacred is being set apart by God. He decides all that. So it's not like sacred is some objective definition that, God has a body, so we have a body, therefore we're sacred because we're like God. He's basically saying we're like God. That's what makes us sacred.
What does he say? What does the Bible say about the body being sacred? Exactly.
Your body is a temple, like... it's in the New Testament. I could look it up if you'd like. We could read it specifically, but he talks about your body being a temple being worth being. You need to take care of it because God made it and it's special. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the temple that the Bible refers to is like your temple, right? It's like your prayer closet, your quiet room. It's like being still and be still and know that I am God. It's like I think the temple is like your connection to God, your soul, which is housed within your body, but your soul or your temple is forever. I guess there could be some argument there.
Well, we're arguing over the precise meaning of an analogy, which is kind of because you're analogizing your prayer life as a temple, as in a place that can protect you, which isn't wrong, but it's just not what that specific passage was talking about. It was basically using the idea of a temple as an analogy for why you should take care of yourself, because God built your body, therefore your body has inherent worth. They're trying to make this a statement.
Like what I'm saying, if you refer to your body as a temple, like if you put trash in the temple, it's not going to be comfortable to pray in the temple, right? So it's like
you can say
the trash is thoughts. It's like being of the world. It's like thoughts about worldly things is trash in your temple. And when you go in your prayer closet and you be still and know that I am God, you're all those thoughts are gone. So
no, I don't think.
Connected.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I don't think you're wrong. You're just building on top of the analogy that's already there. But it's the whole thing is. In the New Testament, it's an analogy to describe why you should take care of yourself. Your body is sacred because God made it. It's establishing the worth of the body because God has given it value. They're trying to say that they're using the word sacred a little bit differently, as this to say you are sacred, your body is sacred because you are going to be a God someday. They're trying to build a connection between you as a man and God. And I don't think they're trying to do that. Factor is the fact that you both have bodies. So
I don't. Well, yeah.
So?
I think they're very wrong on that point if that's what they're building on. But so this is kind of a teaser into the video. But the trash, the thoughts, they come from parasites.
Mm-hmm.
So when you eat sugar and stuff, it feeds those parasites, and those parasites control your thoughts. And then that disconnects you from your temple. It's trash in your temple.
Right. I don't think that's wrong necessarily. I
think that's what they're building on.
To say that, I'm not going to go as far as to say they're literal demons, but I like the idea that what you eat affects your state. It's because your body, morphs or becomes less healthy or less optimal if you eat crap and that kind of thing. It's going to make it harder to pray. I don't disagree with that interconnectivity and how that applies to the concept of your body being a temple. I think that's fine. I'm just, I'm not convinced that they're literal demons, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to see what they have to say. I guess.
We are.
That God has a body as man. As man is now, God once was, and as God is now, man can become. That shows the eternal nature and importance of our material, actual bodies.
Right.
And then.
See what I mean, though?
Yeah.
That was where they were going. So, okay.
Yeah.
And now qualifies them to actually be temples, as the Apostle Paul said. Okay.
Right. So, what this would entail is two things. We talk about demonic possession. And The first one is, why do these evil spirits want our physical bodies so bad? Why do
this
they
in
attach
scripture that got removed?
Well, if they don't have them, they would want them just by the nature of theft. I mean,
they want to destroy the body because you were created. They can't hurt God, so they hurt you. They go after the creation. I think that's pretty standard, like orthodox, about as to why they do what they do, as far as I know. Trevor, am I right about that? That's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
Traditional demonology is like they go after you because you're created. You're weaker.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would see it as like a jealousy driving, jealousy driving them because their bodies are gone now. If they are the Nephilim, like I think, then their bodies are gone. Their souls have nowhere to go, so they try to inhabit us.
I think that's a theory too. I don't think that's invalid. So
yeah. Plus, they anything that God created, they feel like they have to twist it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the thing is, though, they're not actually wanting a body, because even when, like, in actual possession cases, the first thing they do is they kill when they finally get full possession, they kill the person.
Suicide.
Yeah, they suicide, or they do some horrific thing, then take themselves out. I mean, that's usually what it culminates to when the process is finished. So,
or if the person gives themselves over to them entirely, then they just keep that body alive and wreak all sorts of havoc as long as they can.
Yeah, but the objective is always they don't want the body, because the objective is to destroy the body. You know. So,
I mean, the Screw Tape Letters really kind of lays this out at the end, where he talks about how he says he's stupid for trying to kill him or something like that.
Yeah, too soon.
Yeah, like he has to have full possession of his soul, and then it's like he can feast on him forever.
Yeah, I disagreed with that portion of the book, though, because I kind of felt like there was there was a lose your salvation component to it. It's like, if you just kept him here, then he might have abandoned God at some point. We could have had him, you know. I didn't really buy that, but anyway, I mean, the rest of the book is good. You know, there's a lot of good things in that book.
Yeah.
What do evil spirits do? They drain your energy.
I would guess jealousy is part of it too.
But also, remember, energy harvesting, right? This is why people.
Oh, like the Matrix.
Right. After people do horrible drugs or watch pornography or do something bad, they're drained of that positive energy that they have. It's because it's being ciphered out of them by evil spirits. And the positive energy we have comes from heaven, because we're in the same race as the gods.
That was something I do question, though. Like, do they feed off the energy, or do they just use the energy as a gateway to get into the house and make the, you know, like for example, Cody, you have that story of me and Jess fighting, and that brought Pete back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, are they feeding off the energy, or is the energy kind of like a way that they get in? That's something I've just wondered.
It's kind of all the above.
Yeah, I would say it's both.
They feed off of the negative energy, and then they also feed off of how much energy you're portraying them to have. Does that make sense?
Elaborate on that second part.
So if say a couple gets in a fight, like what happened, they feed off of that, and then they also feed off of, okay, well, we gave Pete so much of what power he had because we believed that he had that little bit of power that he had. So if I say Pete had the power to manifest a couple of noises, knocks and stuff, that's what he would do. Does that make sense? So if I turn that over and be like, Pete was nothing, then nothing would happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just don't know if I agree. I'm thinking about it. I'm chewing on that.
It's very complex.
Because when I was going through my stuff, my greatest form of comfort was assuming I was crazy. That's why it took almost a decade to get rid of this stupid thing, because I wouldn't admit it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I wouldn't acknowledge that I was being demonically oppressed for years before I finally was. And it wasn't until I actually acknowledged it that I was, like, emboldened to use the name of Christ consistently. And that started to make it taper off. But before that, it was like, oh, is it demons or is it just sleep paralysis? Or when I finally learned what that was, because I didn't even know what it was at the beginning.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've been learning is everything that happens to us, we've always said, oh, Christians can't be affected by demons, which if you believe that you can, then they're going to do that.
Right. We grew up secessionist, so you had to do something really bad to get a demon. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can also be blinded to it by just ignoring it completely.
Yeah. But see, that's also one of the other reasons why I chose to think I was crazy for so long, because it was like, what did I do to get a demon? you know?
Yeah.
What I didn't do.
Question.
Yeah, exactly, because it's almost like an indictment on your character.
Yeah. And sometimes
I still stir on that question.
And sometimes you can be influenced by demons from ancestors. It don't even have to be your parents. It can be a great grandparent, and that's where the generational curse comes from. The idea of generational stuff happens.
See, I'm not sure I buy into that.
Yeah, the sins of the father is a hard concept to accept.
Well, I don't know if it applies. Like, I kind of wonder if that generational curse stuff is more like, and I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but like if it's just a description of familial cyclical behavior, like if you do something, if the dad does something bad, the kid learns to do it, and that can carry on for several generations until that cycle's broken by God or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that applies to a demon, like actually, following a family or whatever. I mean, maybe they can. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's where you get the idea of familiar spirits.
Yeah.
Or monitoring spirits. They just sit back and watch you, and then they report back, and that's kind of what Screwtape had Wormwood doing. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that is a hard one. That's like I'm like you, Cody. I'm like, what in the world did I do?
Yeah, because mine came about when I was a kid. And I think it's still got me. I've gotten rid of a lot of them, but I think there's one that still got me pretty good. It's like, what I do. I've been carrying this around my whole life.
I got rid of. Well, I can't even say I got rid of it. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, I've had stuff happen sporadically, over the years, but it tapered off, like, for good after that Claremore house. I was in Claremore, but I got rid of the one that was really, really. I didn't do it. God did it, but I don't know exactly how. It went away. Let's put it that way. God removed it after I got out of Dad's house, and I'm not sure what the deal was there, but like the worst, like the really crazy stuff was. That earlier period at Dad's house. And then after that, it kind of just got weaker and weaker over time, I guess. And so, I mean, of course, that's one thing you have to ask. Is like, well, if I was crazy, then how did I get better? So, but anyway. But no, I don't know. Like, the way if I had anything to do with it at all, I would say that my part in it was acknowledging that it was real and using Christ's name and understanding that Christ had given me the authority. Since I was a Christian, he'd given me the authority to use his name. So I told that story when, like, the scariest thing that ever happened. Of course, there's the stuff that's more theatrical, and then there's the stuff that's, like, really scary, but it's hard to communicate why. Like, So I've told this story before, but I woke up one night, and it was after I'd got done talking about demons with a guy I knew at the Passion Play. And I wake up, and you can tell, you get that feeling, you can tell there's something behind you. And I say kind of what I normally say in that situation. I'm Christ's, I'm yours, I'm not yours, go away, or whatever. And then it goes, oh yeah, like a really quick, like, it wasn't audible, but good night, it was clear. It was like in your head, but it was so freaking clear, you know?
Like a thought.
Way more clear than a thought. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was way more clear than a thought, though. Like, it's insane. Like, it was foreign. I don't know how to put it. It's like, It wasn't you. And it goes, oh, yeah? And then I just hear, like, hundreds, thousands, I don't even know, like, all these voices going, Gary Paul Varner, Gary Paul Varner, Gary Paul Varner. And I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. Like, it's just black and Gary Paul Varner over and over and over again. And thankfully, God had helped me earlier that day. He had showed me a Bible verse. It's I can't even remember it now, but it's that Bible verse about your name being written in the Lamb's Book of Life, you know. And I quoted that Bible verse about my name being written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And then I said, I'm Christ's, I'm not yours, get out. And then it left, you know. And it's because, and basically what I learned from that is because your name, because you're Christ's, like when you accept Christ into your heart, you become his, like you're his bride, his child, all of that. And because of that, you have a right to use his name. He's given you a right to use his name, and that's one of the privileges of it. And that took like an emotional weight. Had like an emotional weight to me after that. But anyway, why was I telling that story again? I don't even remember.
We got on the subject of it.
Just experience with demons, I guess.
I guess, yeah. But oh yeah, you were asking because you said you still had one. I was trying to explain why I felt mine kind of finally started to go away, and it was part of it was for me was using Christ's name because I'd accepted Christ in my heart and I believed him and I knew that I had the right to use his name, or he showed me I had the right to use his name. And then just acknowledging that it was real and getting over that stupid I'm crazy thing, because not admitting it was part of the problem. So,
I mean, I'm fully aware of it. I've written about it and all kinds of things, but I mean, like at this point, it comes in waves. You know, it comes like a couple of days during a week, and then I'll be good the rest of the week. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I definitely like. I know it's the same one from when I was a kid.
That's interesting. And I say that because when the other stuff happened later, I could tell they were different from the one that when I was a kid. But I couldn't tell you how. It's just you just sense it. Is it kind of like that for you? Like you just kind of sense that it's the same one? Yeah.
Yeah, and it almost feels like, like there's that situation in the Gospels when the apostles can't drive out the demon and Jesus comes and they're like, why couldn't we drive it out? And he said that this one only comes out with prayer and fasting. And it's like, maybe I just need to starve for a week and be by myself.
So it helps on the prayer and fasting part if you do it as kind of a God, pray to God, be like, hey, I want to do this fast to help me. Please, God, help me figure out what to do. And he'll help you.
Yeah, pray. Don't meditate. Pray. Like, talk to God. And
talk to God about it.
Because if you empty your mind, that stupid thing is going to be like you're a chihuahua or whatever. It's going to just rattle nonsense in your head. So.
Well, yeah, it does say when you get rid of one, it's going to go. And when you cleaned up your whole house.
You have to fill it with God.
Yeah, it's going to come back and see that everything's clean and have 7 more worse than it with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been there, done that myself. It's not fun.
I think.
Which when you deworm, that same concept applies. When you deworm the old-fashioned way, you do like black walnut oil or something. You ingest it and it kills everything, but it doesn't kill the eggs. So then, in a few weeks, it all comes back because it's empty and clean. So all those eggs hatch and you got more than you had.
Yep.
Which is why if you clean out parasites the old-fashioned way, you have to do it in steps.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Might need to do another cleanse then. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, you got to do if you do it the old-fashioned way. I think ivermectin kind of squashes that, but
really,
because it stays in your body. So, but I think if you're doing black walnut oil or something like that, you have to do it like once and then 2 weeks later do it again.
Yeah. Like, where do you get ivermectin? Like, I don't even know where you buy it.
Atwoods.
Just
it's
Atwoods.
Grocery store.
It's like $7 for a tube of it.
I may have to go to Oklahoma then. I don't know. Because I've tried
you don't
looking
have an
for
Atwoods?
No, we have Walmart.
Like a country
That's
store?
It. We don't have.
Do you have a Tractor Supply? There should be a Tractor Supply there close.
Yeah, Tractor Supply, something like that.
We do have like Race Brothers. And we have a Tractor
As long as they sell,
yeah.
if they sell horse stuff at all, they'll have it.
My Tractor Supply here has it.
So you do like the actual horse paste then?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I give it to my dogs, my kids.
It doesn't like hurt you if you're like if it's for animals or whatever. Like it doesn't.
Dose it correctly. It's hard on your liver, but so is every other pharmaceutical.
Yeah, that's true.
Tylenol will eat your liver.
I ain't taking Tylenol again. Good night. Anyway. All right, let's try to get to the worm part on this thing.
All right, sorry.
No,
it was a good talk about this all day.
I gotta take a break real quick. I will be right back.
Go for it, ma'am. All right, let's see. Yeah. So you think it's Pete? Or the one that's bugging you? You think it's Pete? Or you think it's a different one?
From before that.
Oh, so you've had multiple things going on then.
Well, Pete never affected me. It was just like a presence in that house. He never got inside me.
So is it doing like sleep paralysis? Like what's it doing?
I just remember dreams from when I was a kid.
Okay.
And like things that I did that I was influenced to do by something that wasn't me.
Well, planting thoughts in your head or whatever, or like what does that look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it, honestly. But...
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry into something like that. No, to my knowledge, mine never like tried to get me to do stuff. It would just like freeze me. That's what I called it as a kid. Is I'd get frozen. You know, which I mean I've talked about it before. We had that Halloween episode or whatever. But
right.
Yeah, no, it was always like not letting me sleep, you know, and that kind of thing. So
yeah, I think there's different ones that make you do different stuff, and I don't know why we're burdened with them as children, but maybe that's just part of our lesson here. Like we have to get through that demon.
I think this is my personal theory. There's no scripture to this that I'm aware of. It's just my opinion. I think it's empathy. I think when you're a kid, you're way more empathetic, and because you're more in tune to like emotion, they like to. I don't know if feed is the right word. It's easier for them to
attach.
Yeah. Like but it's also it's thematic in the those things they want to tear down the things of God, and it's going after innocence. There's a lot of it too. So, I think that's probably why. I don't think.
Oh hey. Weird side tangent. When you said earlier when the ground cries out when blood is spilled.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Genesis, Cain and Abel. I think, I don't know. I used to think this, that innocent blood, when it's spilled into the ground, causes earthquakes. Legit earthquakes.
That would not surprise me. I mean, nothing would surprise me at this point.
Giant earthquakes throughout history. I could have something to do with ritual sacrifice to Moloch. Just saying.
You know what? Maybe.
That makes sense.
Maybe. I mean, we've just been told so much crap. I mean, who knows how things really work,
Or not told anything.
Yeah, are not told anything.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like what I was thinking of specifically was Waco when I said that. You know, the government, it burned women and children alive. And the whole blasted world went, well, that's okay because David Koresh was crazy.
He was a crazy person.
Yeah. And so, like, that had any correlation with what the FBI or the ATF or whatever did to those kids. Like, that had any correlation at all. And I'm like, that blood is still crying out. Like, that was never rectified. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, with Ruby Ridge, at least people got mad. But with Waco, people just accepted it. And they got mad at the cultists. And cultists went to jail.
It's a cult.
Yeah. And I just thought, we're going to pay for that. We're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
We may already have. I mean, if 9/11 was an inside job, if that actually is a thing, then I'm convinced that had Waco not happened, 9/11 wouldn't have happened. Because I think if it was an inside job, again, I don't know, but if it was, then what do you think something like Waco was going to teach those guys in the government? If we have the right narrative, if we say the right things, we can do whatever we want. Mm-hmm. And I think it emboldened them.
Yeah, probably.
You know? Again,
it's like they got away with murder.
Yeah, weird. I mean, to this day it floors me. And then when I would need to double check this or Google it, but I think Bill Barr was involved in Waco to some capacity, and he was in the Trump administration. Wouldn't you know it? He ends up stabbing Trump in the back. Surprise, surprise. You know, but it's the same guys. You know, I just feel like, you know, part of wrath is just the natural consequences of not doing the right thing. Like, that stuff builds up, and it eventually starts wreaking havoc on a country, you know? And, I mean, I was kind of hoping it would get fixed this time around since, you know, they tried to shoot the guy running for office, but that is not happening. So...
It's almost like they missed on purpose, and it was all for optics.
I don't buy that. I think they meant to try... you know, to get him, because that's a pretty tight choreography. I don't think they're that good, but who knows?
It could have all just been AI.
Oh, AI sucks. It's not gonna, it's got its uses, but it ain't that good. Good night. They still look plastic. The people on those still look plastic.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, and you can hear the frequency difference.
Yeah, I mean, it is useful though. Like, I made those covers with AI, so I mean, you know, it's got its uses. It's just, I don't know if it could pull off something like that. But anyway, all right, let's try to get to this. We are digressing a lot here.
Now, these people are no longer in the same race as the gods.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Therefore, they can't produce that natural kind of energy.
Oh, so they're parasitic. And
After you brought that up, Brad, because that leads to something perhaps even worse than the shadow people. The fact that the other kind... So remember, angels in Scripture, angel means messenger. And so the God sends many different kinds of messengers to heaven, from heaven. So you've got the classic, you've got Moroni, right? Okay. The person, the angels we like, okay? They're people, they're glowing, kind of scary if you meet them, but still you can deal with it. But then you have like the Ezekiel stuff where it's like the giant wheel with the eyes and the wings and the fire around it. You're like, this is literally a piece of transhumanist ancient technology.
Huh?
I think Ezekiel's wheels is referring to the progression of the stars. It's like it's a representation of time, in my opinion.
I think it was representative of something. I mean, you know, I don't know what, but you know, that whole that vision that Ezekiel had, I don't understand what it was about. It's pretty.
Those literalistic AI interpretations of what it's an angel covered in eyes, you know, like, that's stupid.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's actually an angel or if it was just representing something. I don't know. It's one of those things I'm not aware of. I'm not sure what the answer is. So.
Right.
But Trevor, what do you think?
Go ahead.
I think there's a deeper unlock to it that I need to go back and read it to find out.
Yeah, I'd have to read it again. That's true.
That's appearing to these people. Okay. What on earth is that, right? You have all different kinds. You've got the cherubim and the sword, the flaming sword. You have all different kinds of angels. So God creates different rankings of messengers. One's to scare the crap out of you, and one's to comfort you.
Okay.
So with demons, it's a similar thing. There's different kinds and races of demons.
Sorry, this is a random thing. We need to get a Mormon on here to debate them. I have had so much fun debating Mormons over the years.
That would be fun.
I get so excited when they're at the door. I'm like, oh boy, these poor kids. So
demons.
Maybe
and the one race of demons we never pay attention to, and that the church has never paid attention to because they devalue the importance of the human body so much, not only in their doctrine of the Athanasian Creed, but making the body non-important and making everything all spirit, but also with the way they abused thousands of bodies of children, of Indians, of Africans, of Irishmen, of people that did not agree with. They started doing demonic work. Yes.
Okay.
Demonic work by the destruction of the human body because they saw humans as commodities, and that's why these large churches, institutions were abominations before God, and Jesus did nothing wrong. We told Joseph Smith that they were abominations. So, because of their lack,
good sentence.
Their lack of care about the human body has gotten them to forget that parasites are literally demons. Literally. When you think,
are we going into the parasites are definitely demons thing?
Let's do it. We're here. Let's hear it, baby.
Whoa,
Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And Brad, I know you've got some pins on this too, but think about this, okay?
Yeah.
When you think of parasites,
these are very entertaining guys. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
No one talks about they can do things a supercomputer can't do. Mm-hmm. So there's these parasites that can that will get into the head of mice and make mice sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine.
Yeah.
And so they'll go near where the cats are.
T. Gandhi.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Huh?
No, Carden, this is a thing.
I just said T. Gandhi.
T.
The name of the parasite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why'd they name it after Gandhi?
Or did they name Gandhi after him?
Ooh. Illuminati
Ooh.
Confirmed.
Indeed.
Parasitic mind control in animals, like throughout nature. You see this in the mice. You see this in these zombie snails. Look up zombie snails.
Holy crap.
And zombie cicadas, like
zombie deer. Carden, have you seen
zombie deer?
Yeah.
Zombie. Okay.
These are animals that are like infected by parasites that control their behavior in order to get that parasite to be able to continue reproducing.
Okay, so here's zombie snails. Hold on. I am turning down the volume of this because I have no idea what's going on. But here you see, oh my gosh, Nat Geo did something on this.
Yeah.
So these snails.
Yeah, look at the freaking eyes on that thing.
So these snails get infested by a parasite?
Yeah, and the parasite controls their behavior and then gets them to go out and like die.
There's a parasite in that snail?
Yeah, and then it gets eaten by birds, and that continues the parasite's life cycle, right?
Yeah, so
Oh my gosh, so you're saying that there is a parasite that infests a snail and
makes the snail
kills it, but then takes over its body post-mortem?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, does it control it before it rots or what?
Or during, like, especially the cicadas one, you can see like zombie cicadas that are like falling apart. Their bodies aren't even really together, but this parasite takes over their nerve pathways and still makes them move around. They're missing half their bodies, and they're still crawling around doing crap. Like, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Wow, and you said zombie deer?
Yeah, so zombie deer, and this is where it gets really, really creepy. So there's two kinds of zombie deer. Have you ever seen the video of all the deers committing at once?
Just jumping.
Where they just jump off cliffs and just all die? Like all entire herd?
No. Is this like some viral video I missed? Okay,
Yeah.
keep hitting. Oh my gosh, great. I look up zombie deer, and look at this. The very first thing that it shows is 13 scary zombie deer videos.
Right.
Oh, great. Okay, so I'll keep going, Quaco.
So yeah, the first one, there's these videos you'll find online of deer, like they're just on a highway and they're running across and they're jumping off and they're just all like dying, and there's a pile of dead bodies at the bottom. You're going, what are they all doing? Well, it's because they all ate out of one area.
Okay.
where there were a lot of parasites, and the parasites infected an entire herd of deer at once, right?
Really?
And the creepy thing about these parasites is literally they're getting the deer to do all the exact same thing at once. So they go into their minds and they mind control them and they make them kill themselves.
Well,
and,
I have a thought.
And they're it's almost like they have this weird like
What?
Wi-Fi, Bluetooth.
This is silly, and it might sound funny to you guys, but it's kind of lore. What he's reading or talking about, it sounds like lore from a video game.
Well, it's very real from what I understand.
Really?
Them zombies, yeah. They.
Oh yeah.
They go after them snails.
They've been calling it a disease, but I don't think it's a disease. I think it's an infestation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wonder if it does the same thing to the deer. I wonder if it makes it attracted to mountain lion piss, because that's the only place that, like the T. gondii parasite can only reproduce in the feline gut.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Right. So, like it seeks its perfect environment. So I wonder if it's kind of the same. I wonder if deer are attracted to mountain lion piss, in general.
I have no idea. These are
If they have
questions
that
I've
parasite.
never thought before. I don't know.
But you can kind of see it in people too, like hoarder houses. Like they always love cats. They like to hold on to stuff like rats do. Empty boxes, pen lids, cigarette butts. They like to hang on to that stuff and keep it in their home. And so do people sometimes.
I think that aspect has more to do with abstract correlations with like concepts. Felines, for example, they're in Egypt they were worshipped as gods. So there's a pagan connotation with cats.
But what if they were worshiping the parasite, the demon? Maybe that's why.
You got me there. That's a good point. So,
like hoarder houses. I mean, they keep cats. They like cats.
mm-hmm.
And so but when I walk into one of those houses, all I smell is cat piss, and I'm like, ugh. So I wonder if that parasite makes people like the smell of cat piss. Like, why wouldn't it affect humans the way that it affects cat or mice?
Well, I think we have a little more of a complex blood-brain barrier. I think that's
I don't know.
part of the
I think it
limitation.
takes over your neural pathways. I mean, maybe we're bigger, so I'm sure it takes more parasite to do that. But.
Well, I have heard that your stomach is like a second brain. And so they get in through the stomach. It can influence the brain through the gut biome.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. We'll have to dig into this more. What do you think, Trevor?
Digging more.
Well, guys, we've almost went an hour on this one, so I think we need to call it good.
You don't want to dig more?
Unless you got any final thoughts, Cody. We'll pick this up. We diatribed too much, so
yeah,
we need to do this again. What do you think,
Put
Trevor?
together an actual presentation.
Yeah, that'd be
Heck
good.
yeah.
That'd be good. What do you think, Trevor?
I think yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Profound.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm a pro at finding.
Guys, we're going on to... Sorry.
Part
3. Guys, we're going on to part 3. If you're still with us, stay with us because we got one more thing to go. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, or complain about us.
Share.
Yeah, or share. But whatever. Do whatever you want. We don't care. All right. Thank you so much for watching.
Throw your phone in the lake.
What?
Who cares? I said throw your phone in the lake. Who cares?
Throw your phone in the lake. Who cares? Buy a cat. So
don't eat parasites.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, don't eat parasites though. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. On to part 3. Trevor, you want to lead us in on this one?
Par for the course. All right, you ready?
Hang on. I got to switch us back. Saves me some editing. All right, now go.
Welcome to Faith Fiction and or Folklore. Or the Try F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today we are going to do a reminiscence of our first episode.
Yes, we've been at this a year. Yes.
Yeah, we've been asked this for a year, so we were gonna.
Hey, we did it.
We did it. We survived for
A year.
A year.
A year. So, yeah.
So many precious memories. So
Are you guys
many.
ready for this?
I'm right.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our first episode where we were
where we get to make
reacting
fun
to
of
our
ourselves.
past selves.
What?
Oh
no.
Yeah. So this was the night we impulsively, without a script of any kind, decided to talk about teleporting Bigfoots. After a year on the Ethernet, we have 50 views on this video.
That's pretty good.
Ooh.
We made a profound impact on society talking about teleporting Bigfoots.
On at least 33 people.
At least 33 people were overwhelmed.
Yeah, I've had a couple of guys at work thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, thank you.
Well, let's find out what we did wrong. That is a very exhausted me there, just so you know.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm going to stop my video for a minute.
Yeah, go for it. You can see that unbuttoned shirt as if I'm trying to tell the world how tired I am. That's ridiculous. Good night. You want to see my chest hair? I'm so excited. I'm so tired. I'm going to show you my chest hair for some reason. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, Turtle, you were telling me about Bigfoots. What's that about?
Well, what do you want me to call you?
Gary. Gary's fine.
Gary's fine?
I mean, I hate my name, but I'm going to stick with it, so Gary's fine.
Well,
I still hate my name. That has not changed.
why do you hate your name? It's like hating yourself. It's not good for you.
I hate airy. The G. Air. It's like, it's just stupid sounding. I sound like a pervert or a moron. I hate my name.
That's not cool.
Well,
Airy, like Aryan Brotherhood.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
it's so much like Aryan Brotherhood. Like, people, they make those connections in their head, man. All right, here we go.
I mean, you can call me Susan if it makes you happy.
No, then we're getting into like weird tranny stuff. I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's from a movie.
Susie?
Susan.
You can call me Susan?
You can call me Susan if it makes you happy.
Thought it was Don't Call Me Shirley.
That's an older movie.
That's an older movie. Okay, so that's a great movie. Airplane? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. The one I'm talking about is Snatch.
Why did you say Susan?
Because that's the line in the movie Snatch.
Oh.
They're talking to a hitman.
Uh-huh.
And the character that's interviewing him is like, what do you want me to call you? You want me to call Bullet Tooth? Because his name is Bullet Tooth Tony.
Bullet Tooth Tony.
That's his name.
Okay.
And so the guy is like, do I call you Bullet Tooth? Do I call you Tony? And then Tony's like, you can call me Susan if it makes you happy.
Y'all like dags?
You like dags? You want to buy a dag?
Right. That's Brad Pitt, isn't it?
Brad Pitt, yeah.
All right.
When he's a pikey.
When he's a pikey. All right.
Knocks people out with one punch.
We're thinking different films, huh?
Yeah, the movie I'm thinking of is Snatch with
Snatch. Right. I remember that.
It's got anyways, they're trying to get a diamond.
Trying to get a diamond. I already forgot.
That's a whole bunch of different guys. Brad Pitt's in it. No.
You showed me that movie many, many years ago. I didn't understand it then. I haven't rewatched it since. I guess it made more of an impact on you, though, since you want to be called Susan.
No, you don't. You don't have to call me Susan. I'm just saying if it makes you happy.
Well, I would never feel comfortable calling a man Susan.
Okay, so call me Turtle.
Turtle. Okay. I mean, I guess we can go with that. I know it was Turtle anyway, so I guess I'll be all right. Okay, so Turtle, tell me about Bigfoot. What were you were saying before the podcast something about Bigfoot astro projecting?
Oh yeah. So this is just a theory. It's not, Bigfoot is a.
Are you a believer in this theory?
It depends.
Yes. It depends.
Yes.
On what? Are you a believer in this theory, Trevor? Have you persuaded yourself that they are real? The teleporting Bigfoots? Oh my goodness. That's absurd, sir.
Thank you.
I couldn't tell you that night, but I'm like, what you fool.
They're real demons.
Oh, Bigfoots are demons. Oh, we should have titled it that. Maybe we could title this episode Bigfoots are demons. They're teleporting demons.
Everything is demons.
Everything is demons, including the CIA. All right.
Should be Demon IA.
The Demon IA.
The DIA.
The DIA.
The Demonic Intelligence Agency.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bigfoot is real.
Is he?
But
let's start there. You think Bigfoot's real?
Yeah, but why do you not think Bigfoot's real?
I don't care if he's real. Not even.
I was so surprised at that point.
See, that's why I get to.
I thought you actually thought he was, and then you were like, "I don't think he is." I was so surprised.
I didn't say I don't think he is. I said I don't care. Now I would say I don't think he is. It's complete crap. I don't know what changed my mind over the course of last year, but I'm like, no, he's not. You know what it is? I've been seeing Facebook posts of like all these like pro Bigfoot sites. For some reason, it's on my feed. Probably because of this podcast, Trevor.
You're welcome.
They're like, he's a believer. Let's feed him everything Bigfoot now. I'm like, no, Facebook. Your algorithm sucks. You don't know what I like. Anyway, so I've been seeing all these like Facebook pictures of Bigfoot, and they're all terrible. Like the Patterson film was like peak Bigfoot, and it was the best one. The rest of them sucked. Isn't that weird?
Are they the AI stuff?
No. Well, some of it probably is. But it's like, horrible pictures of people like in suits. And then I've seen a couple where they're like holding a baby Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that wouldn't have got
their
out.
Baby.
Yeah. That wouldn't have got out.
Those Bigfoot videos, the AI's been making hilarious.
Oh yeah,
there's one where he does mushrooms. It's so funny.
Right, he does. He's talking to Batman.
And yeah.
Why?
It's so funny.
Possible connection could there be with Bigfoot and Batman?
We should pull
They're both fake.
I guess I never would have made that connection at all. Like those are two groups that I never would have joined together.
They're both demonic.
And then why would they do shrooms together? Ooh. I don't know. It's like, man, we're hurting for ideas.
Because they're demonic.
They're both demonic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got to be in the demonic realm.
I
think shrooms are. I think mushrooms. When you do mushrooms, you're stepping into the demonic realm.
I think so too, because you're dying.
Well, you're
killing
always,
your brain.
It's like it's a fungus. So it's like I heard a guy say the other day he did mushrooms after he kind of like came to the Lord and fixed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like this, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a vision. He had this experience where it was like he was in front of God and the demons were at his side and they were saying he ate from the table of the dead. And he knew.
The table
of the dead?
Like,
yeah, it's rot. Funguses are rot.
Oh.
And so, yeah, it's like it's like you're stepping into the demonic realm. Like you're seeing a different frequency and it's demonic. It's not of God.
No, I agree with that because I always felt like I've said this before, but I thought that I've always felt like the brain is really more of like a filter than it is anything. Like it's translating all this external input. And when you take that stuff, it starts knocking out the filter. And so you start seeing more.
Yeah.
Because, technically, like, we're not actually looking at each other. We're really just looking at the light that's bouncing, like, refracting off of our frame or whatever. So, you can only see in certain frequencies. So when you take that stuff and you start shutting all that crap down, you're actually seeing more of what's really out there. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's kind of what I've always thought,
Yeah, you're right.
And there's got
but yeah, that vision about him standing in front of God and like, this dude ate from the table of the dead, and he knew where he was going. He knew he was stepping in the demonic realm. And
That's fascinating.
I can't get that out of my
connection.
head.
I never would have made that connection at being rock because it grows. It grows, you know.
Right.
So I'm like, well, how if it's dead, how does it grow? But if it's fungus, maybe it grows off of dead. So technically, that would work.
It's a deterioration.
Okay, explain that. It's
like,
deterioration.
So it's rot. So like there's growth in this world, and then there's rot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like it's a binary. It's like heaven and hell. It's God and Satan. It's like, so the fungal world is decomposing material. It's like it's taking all those, like cow poop grows psychedelic mushrooms, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what we're talking about, obviously. But like it's fecal matter. It's deteriorating stuff, and all the most potent stuff comes out of it into that mushroom.
That's interesting.
So it's like, I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, there's an archetypal component to it. It's like, I don't know why I just made this connection. Probably because I'm sleep deprived or something. I don't know. I who knows? But I like, because in H.G. Wells, who I'm convinced is like an absolutely evil person, you know, when he does his book, Journey, First Man to the Moon or whatever, like the creatures, the Selenites that are in the moon, like there's a lot of mushroom allegories in that story. Like I think the figures are shaped like mushrooms. I think it's like a mushroom city or something. And certainly in the early French film, there's a lot of mushrooms and stuff. So I'm like, is there an archetypal connection there? Like, either because they're bad or they're wanting to communicate that the Selenites are bad. Like, is that why they used mushrooms as like the fungal life on the moon? I don't know. I'm just nerding out. I'm like, is that why they did that? Was that intentional? Because there's a archetype there. I don't know.
It could be, because like the moon does also kind of rot things.
I don't know if the moon rots stuff.
Light. Yeah, like if you leave, shoot, I'm gonna screw this up. Like if you leave certain plants, like edible plants, out to like dry, and you keep them in the moonlight, like they'll rot faster.
Huh. You know,
it's a deteriorating effect, whereas the sun's a life-giving effect.
You might not be wrong in a certain respect, because witches and a lot of the Wiccan crap relies pretty heavily on moonlight and stuff. Like there is an archetype to moonlight. Wolf transforming into moonlight. That's so interesting. I didn't even make that connection. That's so crazy.
That's why they do a lot of their ritualistic stuff in the full moon.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the red moon makes it even more potent.
Yeah, but that's
Which is why I can't get behind. Which is why I can't get behind the sun light reflecting off the moon. I don't think that's happening. Like, I don't think the moonlight comes from the sun. It's its own thing.
Well, the sun makes its own light, and then the moon only.
See, I think if you're going to make an evil connotation, though, with it, I do think the fact that the sun reflects off the moon would be more accurate, symbolically speaking, though, because basically evil is not its own self-existing thing. It's a distortion that takes what already exists.
Oh, man, you're right. You got me there.
Yeah. Like, dualism is bullcrap. Evil is distortion. So.
Okay.
But that's so
that does track.
Yeah.
That does track. Yeah.
It's because why didn't H.G. Wells just make up its own kind of unique plant life? Why did he choose mushrooms, and why did those French films choose mushrooms if they have an evil connotation? See, I didn't realize they had an evil connotation. It's not evil,
but it does what it does, because they only like filth grows in the environment if the environment isn't maintained. Like if you leave a koi pond unattended and the water gets stagnant, the fish are going to die and it's going to mold. It's just going to be disgusting. Like, so there has to be a maintaining effect, like a human touch.
So something maybe evil and warped.
But it's only because of neglect, like it's our fault.
Okay, I'm just spitballing, and I'm doing like stream of consciousness, just like what's popping in my head as we're talking. So, is it possible that like warped, distorted, evil things grow out of death and decay? So there's a kind of warped, evil version of life that's built on top of death? I may be saying complete crap because I'm tired, but I'm just kind of spitballing what's popping in my head as you're talking.
That's a deep question.
I don't know. Try it again.
Okay, so what I said was, is there like a type of distorted, warped, basically an evil version of life that needs and subsists off of death?
Yes.
You're talking about like evil people?
Well, like mushrooms grow, and so because they grow, they're a type of life. But you're right about it being prevalent in filth. So I'm like, is there a type of life that grows but is like entirely dependent on death and decay and destruction, but it's a life technically because it's feeding off of that, but it's like distorted and evil because it's feeding off of like destruction and decay. I'm just trying to think archetypally. I don't know. I'm just spitballing too. This may go nowhere. I'm just thought experiment.
It's like the fungus. The fungus world doesn't have real life. You know, I kind of think fungus and
so it's not real life, even though it grows.
It doesn't have spark. It doesn't have spark.
Okay. Then what's causing it to grow if there's no spark of life in it?
Neglect.
That might work. I'm
like
not
if
sure.
you let me think of another analogy.
That is a difficult question.
It might just be nonsensical. That might be the reason it's difficult, is because it doesn't make any blasted sense. So
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just thinking, okay, we've been talking about demons. We've been talking about how they desire destruction. And so are they desiring destruction because they're trying to create a very warped demonic version of life? And note, one of the key factors of evolution, again, thought experiment, making random connections that might not be there. This could be complete bullcrap. We're just improvising here. But evolution is driven on the idea that life can only come from death.
Really?
Yeah, I mean that's all survival of the fittest and natural selection is things that don't work die so that other things can become more prevalent, and the process of death directs life itself. That's the core underlying archetypal idea behind evolution. And that's what Darwin ends with. It's like, and so through this process of death and decay and destruction, the most marvelous forms of life emerge. That's kind of like the end line of the origin of species. So there's this idea that death and destruction is actually the engine that drives life itself. But what if it's not driving the actual version of like true life? It's driving some kind of decaying, distorted, messed up version of life. Again,
that's completely flipping the script.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking. So, but if you're thinking about it from a story archetype standpoint, that's kind of where my brain is. I'm like, what if there's a type of life that demonic entities try to imitate by using the destruction of what already exists to build something else that would be inferior and worse in every practical way?
Well, that's what they do.
Maybe, I don't know. They might just like watching the burnt stuff burn down, but maybe there's, a consequence to that. Is the consequence intended? I don't know. I'm prattling because
I kind of wonder if I kind of wonder if fungus and if parasites come from fungus.
Like it's
Could
usually
be.
parasites
a
on
life
fungus.
cycle.
Could be.
It's a life cycle.
Yeah.
Because I'm convinced that blight comes from like wasps and like stinging insects and stuff. I'm convinced that certain.
What is blight?
It's something that's been destroying our pear trees. It's like very irritating. But back when the government, quote unquote, totally did not smuggle in Japanese murder hornets into our national park because they're, the government.
Man, those things are getting worse.
Well, ours died out. Apparently the winters are too cold. But man, there for a couple of years we had, and I'm not talking regular hornets and I'm not talking cicada killers. We had lots of opportunities to look at the trashy things. I am talking about those dad-bling Japanese murder hornets that are like 2 inches long that eat bees. Like, they were out there in Flag Springs. They're huge.
That's scary.
Yeah, they're huge, massive
And they
things.
hurt.
I've never got stung by one. I almost got stung by one.
I haven't been stung by one, but I've heard that like some little kids actually go into shock.
Yeah, they can kill people.
It hurts them so bad. Yeah.
They can kill people.
Wasps always be getting controlled by parasites too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes me wonder about deer because the Bible says not to eat split-hooved animals like pigs.
Yeah.
And deer are. I think deer are like a bigger version of rats.
That could be.
I mean, they're always full of parasites.
Well,
Yeah,
one thing I noticed, because we've been spending the last several years trying to, rebuild Greg's yard, trying to get grass to grow on it and stuff. And one thing I noticed during that process of trying to get grass back on there is those hornets and those wasps, they tear up the yard. Like they spread out, they make it all soft, like dead earth, I guess would be the only way to put it.
They make their little hives.
They're like evil, huh?
Yeah, and it's like they just wreak havoc on everything. And so we had to buy. Ironically, the way we fixed it was bird feeders, by bringing in birds to kill all the hornets and the wasps. That actually repaired the yard. And so grass started to grow once we got rid of all the stinging insects. So
have you ever seen the movie Epic? It's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
I have not.
That movie is. Watch it with your kiddo.
It's good.
Okay. It's about like the rot versus life. It's pretty sweet.
We should do a review on it.
There you go. Well, I mean, I may just be saying a bunch of stupid stuff that doesn't make sense because I'm trying to make connections, but that aren't there. But that is an interesting idea that mushrooms are the kingdom of the dead or whatever.
Yeah,
that's really fascinating to me. So
yeah.
Anyway,
that story that guy told, I mean, it blew my mind. The channel is called Nephilim Death Squad. If you want to go watch it.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, do we want to keep reacting to ourselves? I can't tell if this is self-deprecating or just a massive practice in ego. But
I don't know.
I thought we would just laugh at ourselves for a few minutes.
Laugh at
For
ourselves.
a full episode.
That is a very tired man on that screen, though. I'm just saying. That is a very tired man.
You look pretty worn out.
Yeah. All right, we'll give it like another couple minutes and we'll call it good. Be the host. It's not that I'm unbiased. I literally don't care. So that the ultimate definition of neutrality is apathy. So, see, I don't care. That's a pretty good line. Look at me, I'm a philosopher. Anyway.
I would say you're apathological.
So you got to pursue. Apathological? Okay, there we go. Played me.
Well, now you're using big words. I'm not a big word
three
person.
Syllables.
Yeah.
You are now because you just made up the word apathological.
No, lithodical.
Apolithodical. Okay, there we go. See, it's such a big word I can't even say it, Trevor.
Big word. Any word that's got 3 syllables in it is a big word.
Okay. You're going to be in for a long night then, man.
That's fine.
I only know big words. I don't have time to think of short ones.
That's what she said.
Moving on. Tell me about Bigfoot and astral projecting.
So, Bigfoot is a monster. an ape-like creature, right?
That you may or may not believe in.
That's what a lot of people believe that Bigfoot is, and so they go out and hunt for this creature, right?
Yes. And they bang sticks and they shriek and cry like banshees and wonder why they can't find an animal in the forest.
And they spend half their life, doing this. And anyways, so
we did not appreciate properly the stupidity of that. Well, I'll never understand that. It's like, do you hunt deer by banging sticks on trees and trying to make, like deer noises like, meh? What? Why can't I find the deer? Yeah, but that's the thing, though, Trevor, is they have a call, a device that mimics the voice. They don't just go, meh.
So all we need to do is find Bigfoot calls or make them.
Oh, exactly. Well, you know what? Given some of these people, we'd make a fortune. It's a Bigfoot call. We've never found one, but it sounds just like it.
we should make one.
We should make one. It can be part of our merch store.
No, it says, whenever you push a button, it says, "Hey, Bigfoot."
Hey, Bigfoot. Come here a minute.
But don't tell anybody what it sounds like.
I've got mushrooms. So. Oh gosh. All right, I'm done, guys. Are you done? Because I'm done. This is silly.
Yeah. We had our funny minute.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our practice at Vanity because we've been at this for a year. So we felt we needed to do something, but last time we reminisced, what was the last time we reminisced? It was the 100 episodes, and yeah, we didn't really have anything interesting to say then, did we? So,
no. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say my favorite exchange was the debate with Jeremiah. That's probably the most fun I had. Until talking to Mr. Buzz, because Mr. Buzz was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's been going live a lot.
Yeah, he has.
Almost every day.
His channel's blown up. Congratulations, man.
Yep.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that debate. Nobody watched it, but man, I enjoyed that debate. That's fun. Yeah. I wish I could do debates more, but I just don't have.
We need to get you somebody else to debate, don't we?
Yeah. A Mormon.
Ben Shapiro.
God. Can you imagine me and Ben Shapiro arguing? It'd be just like two fast people talking. Like just a bunch of just chattering and nobody knows what we're even saying. So
it'd be funny.
It would be funny. It would be funny. So anyway, okay, before we close, I have to do a shameless plug for my book really quick.
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Good night. But before I do that, I actually have to pull the silly thing up, which would require
It's not silly.
It's a little. I don't know. I feel awkward. I hate doing this advertising stuff.
I hate plugging my stuff on my channel.
I know. I hate plugging stuff on my channel. It's like so vain. You know?
Well, we all have veins, so it's okay.
We all have veins, so it's okay. Thank you, Trevor. I don't know what that means.
We should call this episode Awkward Vanity.
Awkward Vanity. This segment is brought to you by Awkward Vanity. All right.
Familiar of the annals? Is that how you say it?
You've already used that joke last week. You can't use it again.
What joke?
The anal joke.
I didn't say anals. I was trying to say it properly.
You said annals.
Annals.
Annals. That's right.
That is actually a word, believe it or not.
So Anna, like the name Anna, and then Ols.
Correct.
Anna loses. Anna else.
All right. So let's see. Right. So this is supposed to be, the goal is to get this out by February 3rd. It is The Familiar Annals of Psalm. Book 1 of the Covenant Crisis. Basically, Familiar gives vampire some blood. Then the vampire decides it wants his wife. Hilarity ensues. So, not hilarity. It's an urban fantasy. It's very serious, but, you know. Anyway, so that's the book.
I think I might buy it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will be sure to. I'll use your money to eat. It'll be great.
There you go. You should name the next one Elsa.
Well, see, I've got the first 6 already up. See, I've already named the first 6, and I made the covers for 5 of the 6. So it'll have to. What would you say, Elsa?
Elsa's of Psalm.
Elsa's of Psalm.
Trevor, that's ridiculous.
I don't think you got it, Cody.
I don't get it at all. Elsa.
Anna and Elsa.
Huh?
From
Anna and Elsa.
Oh,
from the Frozen movie.
This is not Frozen. Whatever this book is, it's better than Frozen. That's the tagline. I don't know what you've seen, but I promise you this book is better than Frozen.
There you go.
I can say that confidently. So, yes, The Familiar. It's better than Frozen. So, buy it out.
That's hilarious.
The vampires don't sparkle, and it's better than Frozen. Buy it February 3rd. So, there we go.
Nice.
That's all we got for tonight. Okay.
Word.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No,
What?
One more time.
Trevor, what did you say?
Well done.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cody.
Indeed.
You got any
I had a
final
great
thoughts?
time talking to you fellas.
I enjoyed talking to you as well. It's great.
I enjoyed listening.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. That ending was a little awkward, but that's okay. We've only been at this for a year. We'll get better. So,
Yeah.
all
We're
right.
always going to have the podcast up.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, the Tri-F podcast. We always fuck it up. So, all right.
We appreciate y'all being here.
Maybe we should
Appreciate
change it
y'all.
to that.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.